So today we are going to start with the human circulatory system. As you all know, our body has a well-developed organ which is named as the heart. It has the four chambers. Before starting the working of the heart as well as the introduction of the heart, you all know there is two type of the circulatory system. One is the closed as well as second one is the open circulatory system. In mammals there is the closed circulatory system in which blood vessels are involved. As you know, heart is a mesodermal part of our body and it is a delicate organ which is enclosed within the rib cage inside the lungs. It is tilted in the left side. It has the four chambers, two atria as well as two ventricles. From all over the body, the blood comes into the heart through the blood vessels named as the arteries, veins as well as the capillaries. Now I'll show you the model of the human being. Where is the heart present and how does it works? Today we will all discuss about it. Now I show the position of the heart in the human beings. I already told you that heart is a delicate organ which is tilted towards the left side of our body. It has the four chambers, two atrium as well as two ventricles. From the all parts of the body, the blood comes into the heart through the blood vessel named as the vein. It comes into the right atrium. Then there is a bicuspid valve through which the blood goes into the ventricle, right ventricle. So it is a muscular organ because the blood flows into the heart with a great flow. So there is a bicuspid valve. When the blood comes into the right atrium, the bicuspid valve जो है it opens and blood flows into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood has to go to the, because this is the deoxygenated blood which comes from all over body through the veins. The blood has to go to the lungs for the purification because there are so many waste materials are there like the CO2. The blood through the pulmonary artery. This is an exceptional artery by which the blood goes to the lungs for the purification. You all know that there are so many bronchioles are there. Through these bronchioles, the blood, it separates the waste material such as the carbon dioxide, it separates, and the purified blood or the oxygenated blood, it comes to the heart by the pulmonary vein. You should all have the knowledge that pulmonary vein is the exceptional vein which carries the oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart. All the vessels such as the arteries, veins as well as the capillaries. Veins have the deoxygenated blood which carries from all parts of our body and that brings the blood to the right auricle, from right auricle to the right ventricle. But the only pulmonary artery is the artery who carries the deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the lungs for the purification. From the pulmonary vein, the oxygenated blood, it comes to the left atrium. After that, from here, the tricuspid valve opens and that oxygenated blood comes into the left ventricle. There is the pericardium which separates the right atrium as well as the right ventricle from the left atrium or from the left ventricle. The part of the ventricles that is so muscular. Now the question arises, why that part is the so muscular? Because when blood flows from right atrium to the left, to the right ventricle, from left ventricle atrium to the left ventricle. So if there is no muscles are present, so the heart may function. Now I show you the diagram of the heart. So you can see only the diagram of the heart. So you can see the internal part of the heart also. This is the part by which the right atrium as well as the left ventricle it separates by the part pericardium, and these below part this is the right ventricle and this is the left ventricle, in which the first of all the blood comes into the right atrium. Here is the valve which is named as the bicuspid valve. This valve opens and blood goes into the right ventricle with the flow. From here, I told you before some time, there is the pulmonary artery which carries the deoxygenated blood, and that blood goes to the lungs for the purification. After purification, when the oxygen mixes with the blood, so that blood is known as the oxygenated blood. It comes to the pulmonary vein, to the left atrium. Here is the tricuspid valve opens and that blood goes into the left ventricle with the flow. So now, why is the bicuspid and tricuspid valves are there? This is the reason both these valves are present, so that the blood doesn't backflow. You all know, if these bicuspid and tricuspid valves are not present there, so the blood may go back. So when the blood enters into the ventricles, that may be the right ventricle or maybe the left ventricle, it closes, because the blood जो है when it comes into the right or the left ventricle, so for it has to go to the lungs for the purification. So you know all about the vessels. So arteries, veins as well as the capillaries. Arteries have the valves. So we can differentiate why all three types of the blood vessels are there. Arteries have the valves. The blood flows in the arteries with the flow. And veins doesn't have the valves. Their lumen is narrow as compared to the arteries. The capillaries, they combine the arteries as well as the capillaries. As well as the veins. So the purified blood or the oxygenated blood, it goes to the from the super venacava to all parts of the body, to the upper part of our body as well as to the lower part of the body. So we have the double circulatory system. So now the question arises, what do you mean by the double circulation? Because from all parts of the body, the blood comes into the heart twice. Twice means once the deoxygenated blood comes into the right atrium, from right atrium to the right ventricle, and after purification, when the oxygenated blood from the lungs, it comes into the left atria as well as to the left ventricle. So this type of the circulation is known as the double circulation. We all are discussing about the circulatory system of the human beings. So many living beings are there who have the open type of the circulatory system, because their blood doesn't flow in the vessels like the mammals. We have the arteries, veins as well as the capillaries. In some of the animals, they have the open type of the circulatory system. So in the arthropods, like the cockroach, they have the open type. They don't have the closed circulatory system because they don't have the vessels such as the arteries or the veins. So their blood is the open type. It doesn't have the vessels. So the blood flows into the body. And one more thing I want to share with you. So the blood of the cockroach is white in color. We have the blood red in color because of the hemoglobin. So due to the red pigment, we have the blood which is red in color. You all know that there are three types of the blood cells are there. One is the RBCs, second is the WBCs, and third is the red blood platelets. Red blood cells, the color of the RBC or the erythrocyte is red due to the iron or the hemoglobin pigment. And WBCs, you all know that they are known as the soldiers of our body. Why soldiers of our body? In the country, the soldiers protect our country from the foreign attacks. Like that manner, WBCs are the cells who protects our body from the foreign attack of the foreign microorganism, and platelets are there for the clotting of the blood. So you all know from the last 3 years there is the attack of the dengue mosquito. In that case, our platelets number it decreases. So if there is any type of the injury, external injury, if there are no platelets are present, all the blood from our body, it will come out. So platelets, they have the function, they clot the blood, they plugging that area where from the blood comes out of our body. So this was all about the working of our heart, how the blood circulates in our body. I think you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.